Have you ever wondered how rich people make a buttload of money and make it look so easy and so effortless? And while poor people make making money look extremely excruciating. So in this video, I'm gonna break down why rich people don't focus on money and make a buttload of it, and why poor people focus on money and don't make a bunch of it. So when I was 17, I got my first job. You know, we all remember that first job experience, whether good or bad. Mine was bad. So I was working at Jason's Deli. So Jason's Deli is like sandwich spot, kind of like McAllister's, or it's a sandwich spot that sell potatoes and pasta and things like that. So I was on the potatoes and pasta. I was in the kitchen making the food. So I accepted that position for $7.25 an hour. $7.25 an hour, like, fathom that. Like, I can't even reason with my mind now where I'm at on why I would take $7.25 an hour to even work at a place that I hate. So again, I was a senior, first semester of high school. My dad was on me about getting a job. I got a job, and my first month I made $600, working 40 hours a week, being extremely stressed. I will never forget one time I had like 10 orders and I was just overwhelmed. It was rush hour. A lot of people was just trying to get some Jason's Deli. Hey, they were going crazy on it. So I was just overwhelmed. So I had to go to the restroom, tell my manager, like, hey, you get that. Like, I can't right now. So I say that to say, like, 10 orders at one time, being dang near like slaving for $7.25 an hour was a bad thing to do. It was a bad thing to do. Yes, I was young. Yes, I needed experience, but I was too focused on the money, right? So instead of learning a skill, right? The rich focus on learning the skill, poor people focus on money. Let me expand. So one day me and my dad are out having lunch, right? So after we have lunch, we go to Starbucks. At Starbucks, we see one of his friends from high school. One of his friends from high school is teaching his son how to do real estate, right? Before that, I told my dad I wanted to do real estate, probably not even an hour before when we were having lunch. So God opened up that door, right? So when God opens up the door, walk through it. Don't try to open it yourself, because if you're trying to unlock it with your keys and it's already opened, then you could just be locking the door that God opened for you. So when I'm saying that, we could be working against ourselves if God opened the door and we don't walk through it. In this example, I told my dad I wanted to do real estate at lunch. He asked me what I want to do in my life. I told him real estate. Then we went to Starbucks, and we saw his friend teaching his son how to do real estate with no money, no license, no credit, right? Crazy. So God opened up that door. I had to walk through it. So the next day, after I got all the knowledge, like, I'm writing all this down a napkin at Starbucks. Like, when you get the game, you got to make it work, right? So he was giving me the game. I ain't had no paper, no pencil, but I had a napkin and a pen. So let's work. That's all I need. So I'm fired up. Like, I can make tens of thousands of dollars. And right now I'm working slaving for $600 a month, and I can make tens of thousands of dollars off of one real estate deal. Oh, I'm in. Like, we ain't even got to talk no more. Like, let's go. So the next day I tell my dad, like, hey dad, I'm really thinking about quitting. Like, I think I should put all my time into this and really focus on this. And my dad was like, no son, I think you should, keep the job, just, play it safe and have some money coming in. If I focused on the $7.25 an hour that I was getting, focusing on money, versus a skill in real estate where I can get into it with no money, no license, no credit, where I can make tens of thousands of dollars on one deal, if I would have focused on being at Jason's Deli, I never would have developed skills that then can generate me that type of revenue in weeks, right? In weeks. It takes weeks sometimes. So it took me 4 months to get my first deal. It took me 4 months. So I ended up quitting because, again, when God opened the door, walk through it. Don't try to unlock it yourself, because you could be locking the door that God already opened for you, right? So with that being said, I told my dad, like, hey, I understand, like, but I'm quitting. So I did the math. It took me 4 months to get my first deal, $37,000. $37,000, 4 months, 17 years old, the day before my high school prom. You know, I was feeling like the man. Like, I was feeling like $1 million. Like, nobody couldn't tell me nothing, right? So I was working for $7.25 an hour. To make $37,000 at Jason's Deli, it would have took me 5,100 hours to make $37,000. When you break that down, working 40 hours a week, that's about 2.5 years it would have took me to make $37,000, focusing on the money. Rather, I focused on the skill, real estate, learning real estate, the skill. It took me 4 months. I had to go with zero money, but I made $37K at one time. I had to either focus on the skill or focus on the money. So if you think about this, the majority of people are gonna go, well, hey, let me focus on the money. Let me get something safe. Let me get something with security. So just in case this doesn't go right, you know, I can bail. We gotta stop thinking like that, right? We gotta start prioritizing skills over money. We have to start prioritizing our time over money. Okay, Jalen, what do you mean? Like, this is all, you know, foreign to me. What I'm saying is, even the Bible says, wisdom is worth more than gold. So even God tells us we need to focus on developing, learning something and applying it, right? Wisdom is the learning and the application of something you learn, right? So that is worth more than gold. So let's stop focusing on the gold. Let's start focusing on the wisdom, so that wisdom can then produce skills, and skills then produce money, right? We doing it backwards, right? A lot of people, the poor people, are doing it backwards, right? We're so focused on money. We're getting under market value. People are paying us under market value for our time, or poor people under market value for their time. And when they're getting paid market value, they're not developing the skill. They're okay with the comfort of mediocrity instead of being okay with the adventure of their dreams, right? So we gotta focus on skills, focus on things we're passionate about, focus on, you know, if I would have took that Jason Deli job and kept that and focused on the money, again, that would have been 2.5 years to make $37,000. And it took me 4 months to make that, focusing on the skill, building the skill, and that then generated money. Okay. So then I hear what you're saying. How do I make more money, right? How do I make more money in 2024? How you do that is develop skills. So when you develop skills, you have to pick the right type of skill, in my opinion. If you want to scale limitless and always make more money, right? So skills have ceilings to them, meaning like if I'm a barber and I can only cut 8 people in a day and they only pay me $100, then I only have $800. Like, I can't max that out because I'm one person and I'm using limited time and I'm using my muscle to generate money. But if you're selling something like hair, right? Again, it's hypothetical, and you can sell, basically your money is not tied to your physical effort you put in. So if you sell hair online and you make 10,000 orders in a day, those 10,000 orders, you could delegate that out to where you don't have to do it. Let's say 10,000 orders, you made $20. I think that's like 200 grand if I'm not mistaken. So 200 grand in a day versus only making 800 in a day, because on a barber analogy, you're using time, restricted time, and your muscles. On selling hair analogy, you're using a brand and you're using a fulfillment process that's already a process. All you have to do is funnel people to, you know, to buy the hair. So it's, as you can see, the hair analogy is more, it has a higher ceiling. So me, I chose real estate. How is real estate an amazing industry to get into? Because one, it's scalable, right? I can do Start out wholesaling, no money, no license, no credit. Go to fix and flipping, which is little to no money, to buying rentals, single families who, buying apartment complexes, to then, doing new development. Always can go up in price. So it's always ways in real estate where you can scale up. Pick scalable businesses that are not capped out, right? Pick something that doesn't cap out. So that's the first thing. And also pick something that you're proficient at, something that you like, something that you're willing to put effort into, because when stuff get hard, you want to go ahead and not be so discouraged, right? You don't want to be super discouraged when, life hits you in the face and you're trying to build a skill, right? Think about Stephen Curry. How many shots did he have to pull up to get so skillful? Think about Floyd Mayweather. How many rounds of boxing, rounds of sparring did he have to do to be able to be one of the best boxers of all time? So we have to think about the same thing with a skill, right? We have to think about the same thing with a skill. We have to pick something we're good at. So that's number one. Number two is you have to practice that skill every day. Like Stephen Curry, he shoots every day. Floyd Mayweather in the gym every day. We can't just get the knowledge and not apply it. That would not be wise of us. We have to be wise. So number two is just be wise. Get the knowledge and apply it, right? So learn everything you can about that skill. Get on YouTube University, learn about it. Pick a content creator that you like that talks about that niche. Go all in, whether it's, selling a product, barbering, whatever you want to do. Go all in to self-develop. Self-development and learning the skill is the key to making more money. It's the absolute key. If you're not doing that, you're not going to generate income and you're going to be capped out, right? So that's number one is, again, we have to pick something we're good at, that we're proficient at, and we have to, pick something that's not limited, because we don't want to limit ourselves. Number two, we have to practice daily, right? Be wise, learn about it, and then apply it. Number three, we have to educate ourselves continuously. So at month one, it ain't like you do 2 weeks of studying and you stop. Month three, you have to keep going. A lot of people only read a book for a week. only, for real estate drop for dollars for a week, and they wonder why they don't, make any sales. They don't make any calls, and they wonder why they haven't closed the deal. So that's the reason why. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work and keep growing, right? And number four, you have to have tenure. Tenure means that you have to have time in the game. It's going to take time. But again, Stephen Curry wasn't Stephen Curry at 5 years playing basketball. Floyd Mayweather, it took him time. Michael Jordan. The list goes on and on. So those are the 4 ways on how you can make more money in 2024. Like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.